Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WGLNA Season 2 playoffs. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on battleViewer.com, you guys have a chance. It is the final match, so go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. And right now, you can answer for us the question of the day.
Which is,
Oh.
which two teams, or really, it comes down to this now, which one of these teams do you think is going to be the last one to make the finals? Apparently the curse isn't 100% in effect because Eclipse did go.
They went through, but we didn't. We also stopped ourselves.
We did.
So
I think
I'm going to stop
for everyone's
myself here.
well-being.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get stabbed by the next player I see.
That's also a
gonna go
great
with
way to do it. And again, watching rivaL come through, they've been strong. I'm excited to see what how Woltage can bring to the table. Before we get into the battle, let's pull up the bracket, guys, for you. Again, up first was Colorwantes versus Aquatic, followed by rivaL versus 07. Eclipse versus Colorwantes, what you guys just saw. Eclipse did move on, and they're going to be facing off against Noble for the live finals. Right now, it is High Voltage versus rivaL. One of these two teams will be moving on to face off against SIP there in the live finals happening in Las Vegas. So again, a huge opportunity for both these teams. The winning team of those finals will take home $75,000. So not a small amount at all. Right now the face-off is ready between both of these teams for the final match of the night. It's High Voltage versus rivaL. On the side of High Voltage, we have Tofu Smurf. On the side of rivaL, we have J Smooth. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. J Smooth, welcome back. I see that the hair is gone, but the beard, the playoff beard is still there. We're going to go ahead and start off with you, sir.
I'm back.
Congratulations, first of all, for making it now to the next stage to face off against High Voltage. Now that you've already played a game, though, and High Voltage has had a chance to watch you guys, do you feel there's anything that you guys are going to need to change up, or are you just going to continue with the domination you showed against 07?
Well, we're starting off with Himmels, so unless, yeah, we didn't play Himmels, we'll be all right. Ghost Town, they got to stop it. We'll see.
Ghost Town, they gotta stop it. Well, thanks. So now we know what the maps are coming up. So I really appreciate that coming out for you, Jay Smooth.
All right, Smooth. Is there anything you want to really comment on in that last battle? Perhaps how it prepared you more for this one, or it just went according to plan? Got anything to say?
Well, if it wasn't for me being an idiot and readying up a 54 lightweight instead of a 54, I think we would have been a lot better off. But no, it was just our guys coming to play. We've gotten back into where we want to be. We made our adjustments with personnel and players and calling, and we're on it. So we're ready to go.
Well, sir, it was a spectacle to behold. So
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And again, congratulations. One more step away from going to the finals. Before that, you've got to get through High Voltage. So Tofu Smurf, over to you. Now, the kind of same question I asked you last time. Looking back at what rivaL just did against 07, was there anything that you saw as a captain and as a team that you feel like you're going to struggle up against, or pretty much everything you guys are prepared for?
It's kind of just a fine line. Like, honestly, I've always been a big proponent of just sticking to what you know and what you prepared for. You can't look into that too much. We're playing, basically different maps, and who knows what they have left. And so really the main focus here is on ourselves.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, best of luck as you guys attempt this tonight.
All right, to
I'm
Tofu.
pumped.
Just to cover all the bases, as potentially the last chance you get to address the fans and viewers this season, or is there anything you'd like to say?
Just, thanks for their continued support. I mean, we have a pretty good vocal fan base on, social media and whatnot. And even when I go out in pubs and stuff like that, they're always very supportive, and, we always want to put on a good show for them. So I just want to thank them, really.
All right, guys, and I'm sure they thank you right back. Gentlemen, before we get into the battle that decides the final spot for the finals, Tofu Smurf, is there anything I like to say to J Smooth before we get started?
I just want to say, have fun. Again, I respect and love the heck out of you, and your guys. So, just have fun. And I think we made a deal a couple weeks ago that regardless of what happens in these playoffs or whatever, that we were both going to end up in Vegas anyway. So
We'll see.
Love to hear that, guys. J Smooth, your response?
No, it's always sad to see Tofu on the other side of this face-off. I wish he was on my right-hand side instead. But no, we're ready to go. We're pumped up. as far as we're concerned, we got nothing to lose. Ready to bring the hurt. It's time to get dangerous, and I'll see you in the danger zone.
All right, gentlemen, best of luck to both of you. Can't wait to see you guys both in Vegas, and we'll see you very shortly.
Both teams chock full of veterans from the years gone by. Tofu was even on J Smooth's team in the past. No, I think it's safe to say Tofu was on J Smooth's team, not J Smooth on Tofu's team. I mean, it's technicality.
Yeah,
but
either way.
High Voltage and rivaL both having played steps the most, both using the T22 the most, both having lost only one game in recent history. And Blue Boys, lead scorer for High Voltage Executus, now the lead scorer for Simple Tankers.
Wow, so some very, very similar patterns coming out here. This should be an amazing close match coming out between both of these teams. And again, this decides the final spot for the final. So a lot rides on the line for these guys. But it's so cool. I feel like we've had so many different types of face-offs in just the playoffs. We had the fun singing, we had the insane like throat jabs, and now here we just have like the respect. It's the deep respect between both of these guys. So I can't wait to see what they both bring to the table.
Absolutely, just showing the diversity of personalities, age demographics, all sorts of stuff in the league. It's a great time to be watching WGLNA, I'll tell you. It's probably better than it's ever been.
All right, and it's also a great time to be a part of it. So if you guys ever have any questions on how to be a part of this, just talk to David. He'll train you. He'll get you into a pro team. It's going to be awesome. He can't
have that kind of power.
I'm just trying to encourage the people who maybe want to be a part
lie to
of
our
this.
viewers. They trust us. The fans.
Yeah,
You're lying to the fans.
That's right, guys. Everyone, I apologize for that lie. He's even attempted to try to get me into it. It's been really tough. But you guys don't let your dreams be dreams as we get into this fourth and final match. Who decides what's going on to the playoffs? Will it be High Voltage? Will it be rivaL Simple Tankers? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Tell you, great news to hear that no matter what happens here, I'll get to see Tofu and J Smooth at the finals.
Absolutely.
Two of my favorite people and the longest people I've known in the league. So High
Reunion.
Voltage with a 50B 2215s, an IS-7, a T22, a 183, and an AMX 1390. The Simple Tankers with the 50B 2215s, an IS-7, a Batch Shot, a W100, and an AMX 1390. 183. It's kind of like the artillery discussion. It's either going to be huge in a positive way or huge in a negative way. We'll see. I'll tell you though, all team diplomatic or diplomacy and politics aside, any sort of bias aside, I'd love to see a 183 shoot a W100. I'd love to see it. It's one of my favorite things to see in this game. It's like, oh look, big tank destroyers picking on each other.
All right.
Can't really go pick on somebody your own size. They're both
They
ridiculous.
are their size.
Just light them up.
Right now, Coffee Thief nowhere really close to be a part of that in his 50B here. But again, Executus is back in that waffle. So if we do see Arclit come down, we could have an amazing fight on our hands. I feel like we haven't seen High Voltage in such a long time. So I'm excited to see kind of what they've used this short break in between now, the regular season, the playoffs to do. And wow, Wall Hacks getting lit up for 1067 in that 1390 up on top of the hill. One more shot, and he'll be going down there. He gets to safety just in time. Did you see where that came out? Where that came from?
It's Executus and Pride, both just lighting him up all the way over there from the 2 line.
Well done indeed. Now Executus looks like he's decided to clip. He's got a couple shots out. He wants to make sure that he has his full clip ready just in case a fight does break out.
Arclit always loves to drive a tank destroyer and artillery anytime he can, and this time driving the infamous Death Star, as it's known.
Really?
Indeed.
All right. All right. So it can just blow up planets with a shot?
Once for an incredible amount of damage.
Sounds like a what's the reload about? Longer? Is it pretty long reload?
I couldn't tell you the exact number. So there's a handful of tanks I can't bring myself to play for a number of reasons. I've never played. No, I think I played the JPE 100 once. I've played the Foch 155 3 times. All 3 of them were Top Guns, and I basically put the tank down like, okay, and just walked away. And I've never played a W100, and I've never played a 183.
Okay,
ever.
All right.
I should. I really should. At this point in time, there's no point in having some sort of e-honor about it. I need to know more about him, so I will get into that at some point. But I always
Well, then it's going to be a surprise for us.
just goes against so many principles I have.
That's fine, David. That means that this match is going to be a learning experience, which is always a good thing for us and the viewers there at home.
J Smooth, a little bit at risk from 2-2-1-5s, Bird and Tiger Thieves. Simple Tanker's getting a little bit of motion underneath, perhaps a bad shot coming up from behind on top of the hill. Coffee Thief probably going to patrol the 8 line. Smooth getting spotted by somebody, and Ox spotting some.
Ox and J Smooth.
They back up and spot each other.
Yeah, J Smooth took a shot there onto
Well,
Ox.
J Smooth is stuck. He can't move anywhere, but he does proxy light anybody that sneaks up in that area. So it is good enough. He's accomplishing what he needs to, perhaps not getting the kind of flank motion he could, but the size of his tank is going to be a huge advantage. Pub Whisperer sneaking up on the hill, and Wallhack's looking out for him, but Pub taking one shot from Wallhacks, going in for the kill right now, and Arclet getting lit, taking 327. He is on the hunt for Pub Whisperer, and Pub Whisperer needs to really be careful, because if there is anybody he doesn't want to get shot by, it's the 183.
Now J Smooth taking that damage there on the northern cap from Tiger Thief there in that 5B. Pride and Executus as well as Flak. Look at this rival moving up to make sure that that can't happen. And they're going to start shooting the members of High Voltage right now. The 2 5Bs are their target. Once they come around the corner, though, Anthief is ready and waiting for him. That IS-7, 1300 there, going into Flak. 1480, going right into Bird Thief. Ox Thief takes down J Smooth. Executus finds Bird Thief in a 1-for-1 exchange going out here. Anthief, though, picking up Flak. That's another tank gone for the side of Simple Tankers. It is now a 5v5 HP in favor of rival. Commander J taking down Tiger Thief is going to increase that HP gap. Meanwhile, Arclet from on top of the hill coming down, taking down Executus. Pub Whisperer, though, going to try to finish him off there. He has 4 shots left in that back jet. Blue Boy's captain getting dangerously low there. He goes down to Commander J. The T-22 now dropping for High Voltage. Arclet is in some danger zone here as rival has 1 more shot left in Pub Whisperer, and he takes him down there. The 183 gone for High Voltage. Ox Thief, meanwhile, going to respond by taking down a member of Simple Tankers by himself. Joined with Anthief.
Coffee Thief coming in, borderline full clip, and it's any moment now Ox will go down to Coffee
That's
Thief.
it.
Commander J picking him up instead, and Coffee trying to share a little bit of hit points. Great play there. Even if you're clipping, you want to come in and guarantee that your hit points are there for your teammate to really take advantage of. Pub Whisperer, Coffee, and J just sandwiching it to bring this first game home. Simple Tankers, 1 up against High Voltage.
And in every single battle here, again, counting there now, just like that, 1 step closer to the finals, 1 step closer to $75,000. Looking, David, I guess we can get into stats quickly, but I'm excited to kind of break down what we just saw there, because there's a lot of just spread play, some flank coming up on top, a lot of differences between both these teams. But first, we got stats. Let's go to stats.
But wait, there's stats.
Wait.
32-32 from Ox and his 50B with a perfect 9. Great shooting there, buddy. Ant with 30-39 in his IS-7. That's just great playing in IS-7. To get up that high in a match in that situation, just great job. Arclet only really hitting 1 shot, but it was for 1190.
Wow, Death Star.
That'll do it. Granted, he did hit a 180 W100, then was clipped down, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange, basically Death Star for 183, but the 183 died in a whatever. Not going to get into it too much right now. We'll do that after we close the screen. 1189 out of Tiger Thief, 1,000 out of Blue Boys. Over here, 4 Simple
Holy
Tankers.
Mother.
Executus with 37-24.
Mother, look at that.
Which one did more damage there? Oh, the W100. Commander J with 3140, 2539 out of Pride, 2309 out of Coffee Thief, 1700 out of Pub Whisperer. So, what did I see there? Simple Tankers just understanding what tanks they had isolation on at the right times, and so far just mastering the concept of creating some sort of separation in their opponent and taking advantage of it, and not using too many tanks. Basically, they're just creating the snowball situations we've been talking about all season long.
Okay.
When you get the first pick, now you're gun up, and if the positions aren't drastically terrible for you,
keep
it
going.
was a positive change. Then you get the next tanks that are all coming in to try and support that guy that you killed, and you pick off the next one, and you pick off the next one. Next thing you know,
Snowball.
you got 3 tanks alive and they're dead.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, Simple Tankers now up 1-0 against High Voltage. We're switching sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
High Voltage now on defense with a 50B, a 2215s, an IS-4, a T22, W100, an AMX 1390. Simple Tankers with a 50B, 2215s, an IS-7, a Batchet, a W100, and an AMX 1390 as well.
So one thing again, when the Batchat last time for rivaL went up to take down the 1390 for High Voltage on top of the hill, was High Voltage just not in the positions to know that they were that tank, basically that tank up and push? Was the positions just not well? Because it was, you know, a Batchat going to take down a 1390.
So they're on offense, and they're trying to put on cap pressure to make Simple Tankers come to them. And that Simple Tankers actually did.
Gotcha.
But you had Ox in the A line, somewhat out of the fight. You had a number of other people guarding all of the different angles they have to protect their Himmelsdorf cap pressure. And this is why we've talked in the past about whether Himmelsdorf is defensive or offensively biased. And I will say defensively. In the beginning, it's offensively because people are still shaking out the meta and there's a lot of powerful moves you can do. But once all of the different offensive plays have been shown, Himmelsdorf is a map that's easy to interrupt the offense's plan.
Okay.
You just look for what they're attempting to do,
Stop
you know
it.
the linchpins, and you take it. So far, all night tonight, Simple Tankers knowing exactly what fights they want, what they're going to get for it, and showing that same confidence that we saw against 07, where they're just like, okay, step up. We saw Eclipse with it on Mines. If we take this position, we win. They just know that.
Done, period.
They go in, they hit their shots. They
Yeah.
know, no question in their mind that whatever damage they take to get that pick that they're looking for is worth it as long as they hit their shots, so they're not rushing them. They're not doing weird things. Their cohesion is just absolutely stellar. We'll see if they can continue that for the rest of the set, because it's a hard situation, a tall order to do that to High Voltage that many times.
All right. Again, High Voltage, just such a solid, strong team. Finishing out the season, the regular season, with 9 victories, only 2 defeats here. But rivaL, after that match against 07, are definitely on fire. And like Chase Smooth says, they're just ready to go. They're ready to bring High Voltage to the danger zone. They're already 1 game into doing that. Let's see if they can continue that, or will High Voltage start coming back to get 1 victory on defense. We can go back and forth. But before, again, looking at the stat screen between both these teams, super even stats. Both having recent victories. Both the maps were the same. The tanks were the same. So very.
They drew the last time they played.
That's true.
And it was incredibly close on Himmelsdorf.
So maybe possibly a good chance that we'll be going into a tiebreaker here again. The tiebreaker map being Cliffs. And so if what Jay Smooth said that the face-off is trustable, which I say it is, we're starting out in Himmelsdorf. We're going to be going into Ghost Town next. And then if it is all tied from there, on to Cliffs to decide the victor. But one thing at a time right now, ladies and gentlemen, what you guys see. Simple Tankers on offense, trying to find a way to push in against High Voltage here. Flack and then IS-7 go up the 8 line, just 8-9 line, just by himself here. Finding Tiger Thief. Tiger Thief taking a shot from the top of the hill there.
I am so uncomfortable with Tiger Thief's position, being that far into the 8 line, hanging out by himself. So far, Simple Tankers aren't in position to take advantage of it, but that's such a huge gamble. If all of a sudden even 2 tanks, 3 tanks show up in that position, they don't have forward intel on it really coming in that much. They have a little bit from Ox, a little bit from other people, but they would not be able to support Tiger Thief fast enough, and he would die. That is what I see there, and it scares me on behalf of High Voltage. Floating tanks out there without a very serious plan as to how you would then reverse that pick just scares me. There's no other way to put it. It sheds doubt on their overall strategic grasp on the map.
Is this... I don't know, is this something that you would do? Again, those things that you can use your opponent's knowledge against. Like, oh, there's no way that this IS4 would be by himself.
Yes, I would certainly look at it and not think he's by himself, but you get enough intel and you figure it out. Granted, Tiger Thief is now backed up enough to where he's in the firing solutions of Arclit and his fellow 215, driven by Ant. So it's a much safer position, but there are still angles where they can come underneath and get isolation on that on Tiger Thief's IS4 without too much of a headache. Right now, Simple Tankers setting some kind of trap here. They're pushing up the 8 line. They're waiting for a flank, which a lot of teams do. High Voltage has done several times. And it looks like they're going to trap that T22 and or 50B from below with Commander J, Coffee Thief, and one more. It looks like perhaps Pride? Yes, it would be Pride down there. Also in a 215. So 2 2 15Bs, and a 50B lying in wait in the south.
Oh,
That's a strong amount of hardware.
here we go. Blue Boys captain right about to cross in front of the 2-5Bs. He spotted him out now. And it looks like the trap has been now sprung.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the idea is there, but he can't really get away. If they come up the 8 line, he's toast. So now High Woltage's only real play is to take the pick that they have right now and try and take off Flack and J Smooth.
Well, it's just an I-7 to 1390, about to be joined with a T-22 from the back. Meanwhile, Tiger Thief, Arclet, and Thief all firing down upon Flack. Over 1,100 points of damage. There it is. Blue Boys captain's now starting to chip in from behind. Ox Thief even wants a piece of this action. All the members of High Woltage, they're going to find these 2 tanks virtually for free. And there it is, a double kill coming out. Flack and J Smooth now gone for rival Simple Tankers, and they're just going to continue this fire right onto Executives, getting lit up in that Waffle E100. They're going to find Pub Whisper, and here comes the snowball, David, just like you said. Pub Whisper came in, joined by Executives to try to help out their 2 tanks. They were already a tank down. High Woltage now knows how to focus. And they now know how to focus. They now just have to focus fire. And there it is, just like that. 4 tanks gone for nothing on the High Woltage, except for some HP here. Coffee Thief now taking death to the face. Tiger Thief finishes him off there in that IS-4. Now it's just Pride and Commander J. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a battle on our hands. Back and forth it goes. High Woltage is now going to tie it up 1-1 against rival Simple Tankers here on our 4th and final match of the night. Again, a reminder, one of these 2 teams, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go to Vegas. One of these 2 teams is going to face off against Simp and get one step closer to $75,000 in the title of the WGLNA Season 2 champions. Commander J now falling there to Ox Thief. As again, High Woltage tying it up 1-1.
Let's go to stats. let's go to stats just right now.
I won't say anything.
And then
I won't say anything.
we'll come back there. Commander J with 2,000, 1,600 out of Pub Whisper, and nobody else breaking 1,500. Over here for High Woltage, almost 3,000 out of Ox, 2,900 out of Bird, 2,100 out of Tiger Thief, 2,000 out of Arclet, 1,900 out of Blue Boys, 1,300 out of Ant, and 1.1 out of Wallhacks, and a 1,390 on Himmelsdorf. So, what 2 2-5s in the south, first off.
Yeah.
Too far forward for a trap maneuver, easy to spot. Then they're very slow, so they can't really link up very quickly.
They couldn't catch up to him at all.
And the 50B can't leave him behind because then he's at risk. So Simple Tankers just floated some easy picks very far forward, trying to lock down lanes, basically just separated far too much. And I thought that they were hip to the concept of separating their opponent. But perhaps they're not, because they just separated themselves, and they had to have seen that that was a bad idea.
Now, do you think, though, when we see Himmelsdorf, do teams generally come in there from over from the western side, where Blue Boys captain went? He kind of cut across just south of the courtyard. Do normally teams go all the way south through like the spawn?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, seeing a T-22 drive down that line isn't very common. I believe it's the G line.
Okay.
You get spotted in all sorts of places. However, it's not that bad of an idea. The T-22, in fact, it's not a bad idea at all.
Okay.
T-22 is trying to shortcut and try and find safety for Ox's 50B that was driving across the D line, the parallel line up the top, right?
Right.
So his entire mission is to find other tanks to guarantee that their northern movement is in isolation and it's a good pick.
Okay.
So that's it. He doesn't have to live. He
Oh.
just needs to find tanks.
Oh.
So it's one of those scouting
Oh, yeah,
situations
why not
where
take
it's
the
like,
fast route?
well, I either come in behind them or I find tanks that guarantee we win. So he doesn't care.
Let's do that
He's
one.
going to take that short path.
Okay.
And even if he does get caught in there, he can tie up tanks there forever. I mean, he's a T-22. There's plenty of places he can get
We've also seen that.
hauled down and reverse angled and all sorts of stuff like that that
All right.
causes people problems.
So J Smooth, just instead of splitting the team, like you said, splitting themselves, allowing High Woltage to pick up a victory. Now we're switching back again. It's 1-1. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
High Woltage with a 50B, 2-2-1-5s, an IS-7, a T-22, a 183, and a 1390. Simple Tankers with a 50B, 2-2-1-5s, an IS-7, a Batch, a W100, and an AMX 1390 of their own. I don't know what kind of kick High Woltage is on, jamming these 183s in. Really going to have to see one connect this game before I write it off as a failed strategy. If you run a strategy and you've got a particular gimmick to it, which this is.
Yeah.
You know, 183 is almost always a gimmick. You got to have
Never
a
seen it.
really guaranteed shot to do it. It's just like the artillery. If you bring it twice and it doesn't get an impact in the battle at any of those times, I mean, you're looking at, granted, it depends on the sample size, but you're looking at sub 50% efficiency rate out of a tank you bring. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Right. We kind of talked about it. Again, we praised High Voltage in the beginning for being that team that tries new things and has these ideas that we've been seeing, like random tanks. They started out this by bringing 2 mouse on the onto steps.
I don't know if you would call what I say about it praise, but I see the point.
Okay,
I am generally the person that's like, oh, something new. You're trying to break the meta, huh? And then I just kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't. Typically, the meta is the way the meta is
For a reason.
For very good reasons. And there are certain things, certain attempts to break the meta that I get super excited about, even if they fail. But then there's things like jamming in those fear factor tanks, like the 183, Foch 155. The W100 is different because it has a very strong role in this. It's just like a 50B or a 5100 that shows up late and just kills a tank. You have a tank that guaranteed kills a tank.
You're like, good, bring it.
But doesn't chance all of that in one shot. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. So it's like less of a risk.
That's the difference. Now, if you're only expecting to get one shot, the 183 has its viability, but you need to be able to get it back in the fight or guarantee that it's going to have time to reload or that its initial contribution will be worth all of the strategic setbacks you have on it. It's this exact same argument when you get into artillery stuff. It has to prove its worth beyond a shadow of a doubt to make it out of the gimmick column for me.
Okay. All right. Well,
Other people don't feel that way.
We'll see if High Voltage can win you over, David, with this 183, or if it's going to continue to fail. And this might be.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't,
and
I get to act super smug about
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah, you've earned that. And we also seen them multiple times. In the season, you pointing out to me sometimes on steps. The first one that comes to mind, we had 2 teams where the first one they went over for like a northern push, or the defensive team is going for the northern push. The offensive team like sent 2 tanks in, which seemed to just die right off the bat. We're like, why would you do that? That's ridiculous. That's suicide. And then the next time they were on offense, they did it again, but they got a track. They blocked someone. Whoa. Well, there's the Death Star. Scout gone.
Scout gone. That's a big win, as long as they can use wall hacks in the right positions, which they can. I mean, it's wall hacks. He's probably the best scout in the league right now. And if he can get over there in the 1-2 line and come in behind any of this, no big deal.
That was a lot of
Get a little
damage.
bit of spotting. Well, that's what the 183 specializes in.
183, lots of damage.
I mean, great connection there by Arclet. See if they're able to convert that into a significant advantage
their
here as
map
wall
control.
hacks spotting Pub Whisperer, allowing Arclet to kind of find a way to get into there. Arclet consistently getting spotted here. Just edges of his tank being spotted by Pub Whisperer, I believe.
Uh-oh. Sakumi over here on the western side. Sakumi's got to be careful here as Bird Thief, Ox Thief, and Tiger Thief all about to come around the corner in their 5Bs. He's going to be spotted out there. One shot going to be bouncing off that tank. He's going to turn tails and run as he should here. Well, looks like he might not be getting far. Executus is going to come in here, and they want this 5B dead. Executus, though, is there to back him up. 569 going here, and the fight over on the north has begun. Who is going to come out on top as, oh my goodness, over 2,000 points of HP gone. Tiger Thief now dropping, and that is the first tank gone for the side of High Voltage, but Bird Thief taking down Sakumi. So 2 falling. Commander J, though, finding wall hacks. So the scouts now gone for both of these teams. It is now a 5-on-5 HP in favor of High Voltage right now. 3 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock. They are on offense. They're the ones who have to do something, and they have now cornered Executus and Coffee Thief here. Oh, this looks like it is all over for these 2 tanks. Executus on the reload. Coffee Thief looks like he doesn't have enough shots up. 366 going to him. Now 798. Ox Thief takes down Executus. 1 more shot, and Coffee Thief will be falling there. It's going to be Bird Thief to pick him up. Meanwhile, Simple Tankers using this chaos to try to find a pick of their own. They're going up against Arclet. Pub Whisperer actually bouncing a nice shot there in that batch out. He is running on reload. And Thief is in that one in that IS-7. But once he is ready, he's going to be shooting down into Commander J, and there it is, taking him out. And Thief. Whoa, I was so surprised by that. I'm getting choked up over all the feels High Voltage is dishing off right now against Simple Tanker's rival. 2 tanks remain. It's just Pub Whisperer and Flak there. 444 going to that IS-7. 895 there. It looks like there's just nothing that rival can do. Anthief picking off Flak. That's another kill going out to that I-7. Pub Whisper is spotted. They know where he's at. And Blue Boys captain is just going to pick up that kill. High Voltage now finding a victory not only on defense, but now on offense. Now up 2-1 against Simple Tanker's rival. It's going to be up to them to tie it up or let High Voltage continue to find that victory. So a very kind of stalled out game there. It looked like High Voltage really not super aggressive to try to find, okay, we're not like a solid 8-9 push to find out where they are on the north. They just kind of waited. They got the pick and then came around the corner and finished it off.
Yep. Let's go ahead and get into stats.
Let's do it.
I'll throw a little bit more up. What exactly I want to say about that. Executus with about 2,200 in his W100. Flak with 2,000. 2,000 for Pub Whisperer. 1,700 for Commander J. Over here, for High Voltage, Bird Thief with 3,700, 3,200 out of Ox, Arclit with 2.7 thousand and 4 shots, so 3 actual. Well, he splashed one. It has splash. It's a tank destroyer with significant splash.
When you blow up a tank, the shrapnel just goes everywhere.
Blue Boys with 2,400 and 1,600 out of Ant. So, the 183 earned its keep there.
Right.
Because it deleted a 1390. Everything else,
Deleted.
Everything else, don't care.
Okay.
Don't care at all. But because they got the 1390, it
like,
opened up
all
the
right,
path to
work.
Zakumi's 215, which was the key to the map. Right?
Okay, yeah.
That's what was what I was talking about. Okay, well, now all they have to do is rotate, get some 1-2 line control with wall hacks to guarantee it's safe.
They did that.
And easy, because you can't guard all of the different angles from how far forward they put their tanks at that point in time. Not to mention Pub Whisper in the Bat Chat should have come down from the 0 line as soon as they lost
right.
that 1390. In my opinion, a stroke of luck to get the 1390.
Right, 'cause you can't guarantee that
and
every
then
single
lucky
game.
that Pub Whisperer wasn't put in the right place at the right time, or perhaps chosen on his own. So, still not going to be a huge fan of the 183.
No problem, but High Voltage now loving it as they are up 2-1 against rivaL. Can they make it 3? Can rivaL come back and tie it up? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
High Woltage with a 50B, 2215s, a 260, a T22, a W100, and an AMX 1390. Simple Tankers with a 113, a 50B, 2215s, an IS-7, a Bat Chat, and an AMX 1390. The only reason why I kind of want to harp on ideas, concepts like that, is to illustrate how close some of these battles can be or are, just based off of things that are somewhat out of the team's control, the team that's on offense. You have to sometimes either coax a mistake out or get lucky and just find one. In that instance, I will just putting a lot of eggs in the basket of getting an early pick using that 183 and working out. That is probably the only real reason they're bringing the 183 is for that pick potential, because the one-shot power of it
Just gone.
can allow them to get a shot where a lot of other people would probably get the shot, but they would escape with like 30% hit points. And then we've seen a dozen
this
times,
is the guaranteed
as long
kill.
as they're not dead. And that's the thing. That's what makes the 183 a little bit better than artillery in some instances. I mean, it's give and take, right? It's direct fire, so it doesn't have arcs, so it can't dig out of crazy positions, but it does secure a kill a bit more often.
Flak being spot out in that I-7 is probably a huge tell for High Voltage. Where Simple Tankers is planning to go right now.
Pub Whisperer taking one shot from Blue Boys as Tigers and Pub are counter-spotting one another. Pub also seeing Ox Thief from his elevated position. You can see here some of the angles he's playing with.
Blue Boys is going to spot out all these guys right now. Pride, Flak, looks like rivaL does not care for the element of surprise as Blue Boys captain has spotted out 2 of them, a 113 and an I-7. And David, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like those are 2 tanks that you would know. Well, if they're here,
yes,
a lot more of their guys right here.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. You can see High Voltage knows it as well. They're rotating back. They're leaving just Wally to watch the 0 line to keep tabs on Pub Whisperer. And Simple Tankers going to push into the west. And this is starting to play into the strengths of High Voltage here. Bird's going to clip, so there is a short amount of time. Maybe not so short amount of time for Simple Tankers to get some sort of motion forward. But against 2-2-1-5s and loaded 50B, although Ox taking 582, doesn't open up enough room yet. There's still a significant backstop here for High Voltage to shut down Simple Tankers' push.
So now this is a spot where we see Anthief and Arclit in public matches. It always terrifies me when you're on this side of Himmelsdorf, because I feel like you can just get shot from.
Yes.
There's a window right next to you, and there's all these corners from the railroad tracks, and it's hard to spot people. And
Any tank that can angle that has a backstop close to where Ox and Bird are all the way back there against that A line, you just can't push the 1-2 in that instance. You can't. It's not doable.
it's over. Don't even try it. Commander J taking a shot from Arclit there in that 5B for 348. Again, like you said, Brilliant Strength 5 Voltage, they are up about 2,000 points of HP. 1,500 now, points of HP overall in the tanks, as indicated up on the top of your guys' screens here. And yeah, very decisive Western push with a 1390 and a Bat Chat over on the east, the 8-9 road. Bat Chat starting to head back. Looks like he might be setting up here. He was spotted. We'll see what he does.
Probably a pretty big waste of time to even attempt shooting Blue Boys from this angle.
Really?
Can see fairly easily that he is completely safe. Can turn this around. He's rear angling,
Oh, wow.
using the barrels. Very unlikely you're going to get reasonable shots on him. So, Simple Tankers has 2 tanks that are essentially stuck by Blue Boys unless they're just willing to take his damage to get out of there. But either way, they're stuck in the 1 line. That's not an easy position to fight their way out of, but now Simple Tankers starting to rotate more into the center. Perhaps going to try and cross that center region, divide this map by the 5 line. Could potentially put 1 on cap and then just lock High Voltage in the northwest. If you do that in the right ways, you can actually do split cap pressure.
Oh, wow.
1 on each cap.
Wow.
And cause significant problems. They just got to get out wall hacks to open up that option. They really need to see a lot of the rest of the positions of High Voltage in order to make that decision. But with only 4 minutes left on the clock, time is dwindling for Simple Tankers to make an authoritative move here.
Wallhack spotting out as well. Pub Whisper on that move over. So getting some good information there on the side of High Voltage. Let's see what Simple Tankers does here. Coffee Thief and Executives, though, have made it, I believe, unspotted here to their positions right now. And you guys can see on your screen, there goes Wallhacks. Getting up on top of the hill. No one's there.
Make sure everything's safe. Got everything he needed to know. That allows him to rotate. He's got to be a little bit concerned about the 8 line, though. And he spots Pub, but he does it at full speed, so he will be safe.
Well, the beauty of coming
Duration of his run.
down a hill in a tank. You just fly like lightning. So hard to hit those shots, unless because you think about it, right? They get spotted, and it doesn't register immediately. So by the time you see them, it's like,
So
God.
this is actually why we talked in the past about surfing hills.
Yes.
That is in a sense exactly why it's comparable to surfing, is because when you go up a hill and then poke your tank just above the top, you want to actually do it on your downhill run as much as possible, so you're not bleeding speed up.
So they see you once you're gaining speed, you're gone, you're
Exactly.
out. I like it.
And the differential, because you're then now accelerating away, it makes it hard to lead. It's easy to lead somebody when they're going in a solid speed in one direction. But when they're going away from you and speeding up, it's crazy hard.
Super hard. Right now, Jace Move applying some cap pressure. They only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So much time has been bled off this map. Let's see what they can do to try to find this victory against High Voltage, because if High Voltage holds it, it'll be a nice 3-1 going to the next map, which, again, according to Jay Smooth, is going to be Ghost Town.
Simple Tankers really needs to tie it up before they go into Ghost Town.
Oh, there's that double. Oh, no, just Pub Whisper driving on the way through. Pub Whisper going in for a flank. Volhack's trying to get to safety here. Coffee Thief should be loaded there in that 50B. Tiger Thief now taking some damage as well, and High Voltage is probably starting. Got to feel some pressure as they know they're now being collapsed upon. Let's see what they can do. Ox Thief is going to start by taking down Executives. Pub Whisper, though, finds Wallhacks, a 1-for-1 exchange. That's a 5B down for Simple Tankers, just a 1390 down for High Voltage. Ox Thief takes down Pride. Tiger Thief takes down Commander J. I guess that's what High Voltage will do to respond by what High Voltage, or what rival is trying to do to them. It's to take out 3 tanks and only lose a scout for it. 30 seconds on the clock. They are now not scared of that. Blue Boys captain's getting a nice reset. Flak does take down Tiger Thief. The HP, though, so in favor of High Voltage right now. Arclet, meanwhile, taking down Coffee. The 50B gone. Jace Move will be falling right now to Ant Thief, leaving just Flak and Pub Whisper alive for Simple Tankers. Rival, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Nothing the rival can do. And guys, you're seeing High Voltage picking up their 3rd victory, 1 step closer to the finals. They will be facing up, whoever wins this will be facing off against Simp, again in Las Vegas, February 12th. Oh, on the move, bringing Pub Whisper to a stop. That's High Voltage up 3-1 against rival. So it seemed like what just happened there, rival going for a Western cap, obviously sending a lot of their tanks, getting spotted out really early and not having kind of response for it, saying, hey, let's just commit to this, let's try it again, and just not working.
Couldn't really get much going for him.
Yeah.
Pretty much that simple.
All right. Well, there you go.
Let's go ahead and check out the stats.
Simplicity in elegance.
$2,300 for Flack, $2,200 for Pub Whisperer, $1,600 for Coffee Thief, $1,600 for Commander J. Everybody else below 1,000. And over here for High Voltage Bird with $3,500, $3,000 for Ox. Arclit with $2,700, $2,100 for Ant Thief, $1,700 for Blue Boys, $1,000. I'll call it $1,600 for combined Tiger and Wall Hacks there at the end.
It's very generous. Right now,
Just adding them together so it sounds bigger.
just to let you know, I like, yeah, perspective. Just to let you guys know, Jay Smooth is not a liar. We're going to be moving into Ghost Town. Now, on a super not serious note, if I were rival right now, I'd be taking a closer look at Coffee Thief. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Because all the thieves are on the side of High Voltage. Coffee Thief is the only one who's not there. We
I
might
see
have
what
we might have a little
I see
double
what you're
agent.
going
Double
with.
agent. What do you guys
I
think?
see what you're going
It's
with.
definitely not what's happening. I just wanted to kind of lighten the tension.
I mean, if it were going to happen at all, obviously it'd be Coffee trying to convince High Voltage that he's one of them
Oh,
to take their information.
Oh, okay.
But High Voltage
okay.
ain't going to buy that.
No,
Either
they're,
way.
they're too smart for that. Right now, though, High Voltage sitting pretty 3-1 against rival us. We're now going into Ghost Town. So looking at the kind of compare for me the similarities between Himmelsdorf and Ghost Town. If it's unless it's just city map, that's pretty much it.
City-ish maps, lots of hard corners, lots of lanes fairly easy to lock down,
Okay.
but more offensively open than Himmelsdorf, in
Oh.
my opinion.
Okay, so not that kind of like, oh, once we see what they're doing, we can just shut them down and lock them.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows the meta on this map overall? We just haven't seen it just ground
Yeah.
out by the teams the whole time to see exactly where it goes. Everybody's scared of it for good reason. I would be.
Well,
I'd stay away from it.
I'm excited to see it right now, as we haven't seen it really at all this last season. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. High Voltage starting out on defense. A great place to start. If you are up 3-1 against rival, let's see if they can make it 4. Or can rival come back? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
High Voltage with 2-2-1-5s and I-7 and E5. Batch Shot at W100 and M40, M43. Simple Tankers with 113, 50B, 2-2-1-5s and I-7 and 2 T10s.
And if High Voltage can pick up this, they'll be 4-1 against rival. Woo! It's gonna be a hard road to come back from them. It's for me. It's got to be such. This is such an important game. As I've been seeing the kind of the trends that are set. If High Voltage goes up 4-1, someone tankers like, oh, what a hill to climb. But if they can make it 2-3, it's not that bad. They'll be going back on defense. They can tie it up. So I feel like this is a very, very important map for rival right now.
Absolutely. Every map, every game is important under this kind of pressure.
Sure, yeah.
And in this situation,
That's true.
They're down 2. They're on offense in their first game. If they give this up, it's 4-1. This is as close to do or die as it gets without actually being do or die.
Yeah, you're right.
Not eloquent, but it's accurate.
It's accurate, and I like it. A minute now has gone by, and we see Simple Tankers completely bunched up. So, yes, David, they're not looking for doing chaotic information, but they're also denying information from High Voltage right now.
This kind of spread and opening is what led to AM60's fast capping High Voltage. But Wall Hacks is in position to start shooting down buildings. Looks like he's been doing that from the beginning. So they're guaranteeing that's not going to happen again. Plus, changing the artillery to an M40, M43 guarantees a bigger splash radius, easier resets.
Rival chasing down Tiger Thief. They see a tank, but now they see Ant Thief, so it's probably going to start putting the brakes on. 4-away going to Tiger there. Some damage going to Ox Thief as well. And Simple Tankers might just want to continue this. They're using that downward momentum. Ox Thief now down to about a half health there in that Waffle E100. And Rival just turning up a Pump Whisper, getting absolutely lit up, as well as Flag taking so much damage, over 1,000 each. And Wall Hacks is going to take out Flag. That is the first tank fallen. Executives, though, not of yet, gonna try to come back, taking on Tiger. Wall Hacks finds Pop up with a double kill from Arclit, coming out to take down Commander J for High Voltage. That is looking good for them right now. More damage going on to Unknown One. He goes down. Ox Thief, though, they actually take down each other in a ram till the end. 3 tanks on Simple Tankers, 5 for High Voltage. A great battle that just started there. High Voltage is clearly coming out on top. Wall Hacks taking a lot. 9-18, though, in that 5B. Rival trying to hold on to this one, but again, if they go down, High Voltage will be up 4-1 against them, and that will definitely be do or die. Nice kill coming out there for Rival, but Anthony taking down Pride, leaving just Executus and J Smooth to fight off against 4 tanks. Blue Boys captain, his autoloader is ready. He has 3 more shots. One goes into smooth, and the second one is going to finish him off there. High Voltage is now up 4-1 against rivaL. They are 1 more victory away from the live finals in Vegas, and it'll be their 2nd finals in a row. Again, looking just at High Voltage, just something to remember. They just became, they became a team last season, went to the finals, and right now, super close to doing it again.
It's almost impossible to call it the same team as last season. They lost Heavy 20. They had DeKillzor. They lost him. They've had a new caller come in. There's so much turmoil in what they've gone through. They didn't have as much time to prepare, if you think about it, because they went to China for WCA.
Yeah, just
so
like
they
Noble.
basically just got dropped back in.
Yes.
The difference is, and I'm not trying to play up. I mean, Noble's obviously a great team. The difference is Noble didn't change much. High Voltage had to do all this while changing a lot.
Great point.
So it's
Great
a rough situation for them to be in.
They're doing
Perhaps
good.
with the extra month they might get, they could get into business. Let's go through the stats really quickly.
Let's check it out.
Pride with 2,600, Executives with 2,600, 1,800 out of Smooth, 1,200 out of Pub Whisperer, and that's about it for that. 3,300 for Bird, 3,100 for Blue Boys, 3,000 for Ox, 2,800 for Anthe, 1,700 for Wall Hacks.
Man.
And, you know, the artillery didn't get a huge leg into that fight, but from their overall positions,
I totally forgot they had artillery.
not a big deal. I mean, he wasn't hitting Baby Halo kind of shots, but they weren't really there as often. He didn't give as much time. But it was nice for the reset capability and just eliminating options. Could it have been better? I don't know. No real point. The point is the trap that High Voltage set there
Worked
was
out
beautiful.
beautifully.
And if they knew that they could draw Simple Tankers over there due to what Simple Tankers did the last time they played on Ghost Town,
Brilliant.
then that's brilliant.
Brilliant indeed. Now they are 1 more victory away from closing out the night, from closing out this match, and guaranteeing a spot in our finals in Vegas. Let's see if they can find it right here, or can rivaL come back from a 4-1 deficit? Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
High Voltage for potentially the last match of tonight. 215, 2 IS-7s, a T-22, a W-100, and 2 Conquerors. Simple Tankers with a 50B, 2 215s, an IS-7, a T-22, a Conqueror, and a T-10. We've got 2 double Tier 9 slugfests coming up here. And I cannot wait
Battle
to
for
see
the
where these
century.
teams choose their engagement zone. Right now, High Voltage on the precipice of making their finals dreams come true. And Simple Tankers seeing theirs potentially crumble before their eyes, but discussed a bit many times in the past. They're not a team that I would describe in any other way than resilient. They are one of the toughest teams out there. They've been through a lot. And Executives getting 1 shot in here. Wall Hacks. Now Simple Tankers has everything they need to find the right positions, and this could be the early match. The game that Simple Tankers begin a comeback on. Hard to say here. It's all on the line as High Voltage takes their initial positions, and Bird and Arclit poke around a very dangerous corner.
And Berthy taking a shot there for almost 400 damage in that I-7. Every shot counts, guys. 574 going into Arclit, over 300 going to Blue Boys captain there. Simple Tankers doing a great job starting to bleed off that HP, making High Voltage earn every single inch they get to try to start putting pressure here on the cap. Arclit taking 463, just putting 1 member there. Berthy actually not even joining him yet. David, the IS-7s, we kind of talked about them, how they have a good chance of bouncing shots. What they'll be used for now, do you feel like Simple Tankers should have any trouble getting the reset?
No, they shouldn't. They've got plenty of guns, plenty of HE. They can get resets in there, no big deal. What they need to worry about is not getting pulled into a trap. After the last game, it's definitely something on High Voltage's mind. It's definitely something Simple Tankers needs to be concerned about. And right now, Conquerors driven by Tigers and Wally are basically trapped. In the event the Simple Tankers want to come around this corner en masse to get those side shots into the I-7s, which is the easiest vector. You can kind of see right on screen there. If you look through those buildings just on the left side of your screen, we can go right through here. This is the easiest shot on the I-7s for reset. Now,
Oh, wow.
you can pull into this general area, and then all of a sudden, Ox Thief is in business. He is very, very, very wisely
Very
staying
much in
all the
business.
way over here
He's going to pop out and say hi.
to guarantee that
You're
he'll
gonna
get
die.
in the fight. It may be a little bit late. Granted, he can also drive forward. His hull is perfectly positioned for safety and mobility right now. And Blue Boys is the only one who's seriously at isolation risk. But if anybody wants to try and isolate him, they're going to have to deal with Ox's 5 shots of pain first. The Conquerors can easily come up behind. Right now, High Voltage is looking very, very, very strong. But Simple Tankers have to bite and go into that danger zone instead of simply just barreling around and taking out Ant Thief and then Arclit and Bird Thief all on their own.
Wow.
A little bit of exploratory movement, and they may see that pretty easily, but it's hard to say.
Good bit of damage there going off to Bird Thief and Arclit as well as they continue to put that cap pressure on. It's gone down to 20 seconds, but nothing past there. Simple Tankers just continue to fire shots there. Flak looks like he's been firing HE to get those resets.
Oh, here it goes, and we'll see if High Voltage plans work.
Oh, this is it. This is the bite here. 8:53 going into Commander J right off the bat. David, it looks like exactly what High Voltage wanted Simple Tankers to do. They are walking right into their trap. 7-7-7 there, going on a pub. Takes down wall hacks in that Conqueror, and now Ox Thief is here to join the fight, and he's taking it right to him. 2 tanks down for Simple Tankers, just 1 for High Voltage, and here comes the 3rd. Tiger Thief takes down Commander J, leaving just 4 members of Simple Tankers rival to fight off against the 6 of High Voltage. They've got cap pressure, they've got HP, they've got tanks. High Voltage looks like they'll be able to take this one, but Simple Tankers is not over yet. Bird Thief, they'll take it down. Jay Smooth is starting to put the nail in the coffin there. Blue Boys captain takes out Pump Whisper, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is all she wrote. It is just Flak. The cap goes to 0. A perfect ending to a great night for High Voltage, and they will secure their spot, the final place, going to the finals here, facing off against Simp for a chance at $75,000.
Congratulations to High Voltage and a beautiful trap. Hook, line, and sinker.
Just like you said.
Hook, line, and
Just like
sinker.
you said.
Somebody's obviously done a lot of work to look at those 2 traps in a row, and it was brilliantly done. Let's go ahead and look at the stats to round out the entire season before we get into the finals here. Flak with 1743 in his eyes, 1636 out of Pub Whisper, 1455 out of Executus. Nothing else really worth covering there, but meanwhile for High Voltage, let's go bottom to top. 805 for Wally in a brilliant sacrifice to draw out everything that High Voltage needed to win. 1545 out of Bird Thief, and there we go. 2043 out of Ant. 2248 out of Tiger, 2417 out of Ox, 2605 out of Arclit, and 3148 out of Blue Boys in the T22. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
And that is it, guys. Again, congratulations to High Voltage. Now, before we get into a recap of the night, before we show the brackets, we got to go ahead and thank Quinn again for being here. Quinn, thank you so much, man. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks again for having me on the show again, Christian. It's been just awesome watching all of these matches. Had some really good ones tonight, had some really good ones last week. Super excited to watch the finals over in Vegas. Best of luck to all those teams and to all of the fellow veterans that we have out there and to all the current military. And then, to everyone else, all of you viewers, you've made all of this possible. It's been great. It's been a shell of a time.
Thank you so much, Quinn.
That's a salute.
Fantastic time indeed.
Salute.
We've always talked about who has a busy Meadowhawk.
Meadowhawks has been pretty great.
Quinn, way to show it. Thank you again so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, the brackets are ready, so let's pull it up. This is what you can be expecting to see for the live finals here in Las Vegas. Not here in Las Vegas, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Noble versus Eclipse is going to be the first match. Simp versus High Voltage is going to be the second one, and then the winners of that are going to duke it out for first place for $75,000 and for the title of WGLNA Season 2 champions. It's going to be a phenomenal time. David, before we close out the night, just a recap of what we had here in the playoffs.
It's hard to cover everything. So many brilliant matches, so many great plays. The best play we've seen out of almost every team that played tonight.
Seriously.
All season long. It just feel it's so hard for me to put to words how I feel when I watch these games. Talked about it a couple times. I'm so happy for some people.
Yeah.
So sad for other people because I've known some of them for so long. But I'm definitely looking forward to the finals, and you should too. If you got the chance, head on out to Vegas. You can meet us.
Yeah.
and watch some incredible tank play live.
And again, get the hugs from Nagatron. It's going to be so awesome. But before that happens, we are going to be having a Pro Bowl game that's going to be happening on February 16th. So go over to FantasyWGL.com, pick the 4 remaining players that you want to see play then. And we cannot wait to see you then. And then after that, the finals in Vegas. Guys, it's been such an awesome season, but it's not done yet. So stick around and make sure you come back to watch the Pro Bowl and the finals. On behalf of everyone here at the WGLNA, before I close out, I just got to thank you guys. Thank you for following us on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. Thank you for watching this on BattleViewer.com. For all of you that did, you still have 2 more chances to do that for the Pro Bowl and the finals. And finally, thanks for following us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys could stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. And now, on behalf of everyone here at the WGLNA, that has been David Williams. Quinn Shearer was here. I am Christian Toma. And as always,
thanks for stopping by.
yeah!
Catch you again.